Welcome to the Deep Focus podcast. On today's episode, we're keeping it simple here today. We will be going through all of our 150 fans on Instagram's questions. We have some pretty cool ones here today. But first,
Five God on the beat. Welcome, everybody. Thank you for joining us on this beautiful sunny Wednesday. As always, I am your co-host Murad, and joining me is the most fine man in all of the lower mainland, Varun Minhas. How you doing, buddy?
I am good, man. You know what? I'm glad you took training wheels off today. Got the little intro in. I know you're very excited to do that.
I was
I
very
appreciate the
excited about that.
I appreciate the compliment.
You're
I
welcome.
can't promise you'll get that back from me. But you know what? Once you get a little bit older, you'll learn that's life. It is what it is.
I'm a 25-year-old man.
Man, I got 10 years on you, bro. Like it's
That's fair.
relax.
That's fair.
I'm excited, man. I'm excited for today's episode. You know what? I posted on Instagram. I did not think we'd get as many questions as we did. I think we're around the 12 or 10 question marks, which is pretty awesome. So thank you for everyone for submitting them. So before we get into those questions, I want to provide some big news and updates for the podcast going forward. So as Murad mentioned earlier, no, today's Wednesday afternoon when you'll be hearing this podcast. The reason we're taking a bit of a break this week, because as most of you know, I hope all of you know, this isn't our full-time gig. We do this as a passion of ours, and with that, we do have full-time jobs that we are committed to. We have our families, and a lot of craziness happening right now. So Murad and I will taking a bit of a mental break this week, but we will make up for it. Starting next week, we're going to be bringing you not one, but 2 episodes per week. That's right. When Murad and I first started, we did not think we'll have any content to talk about, or at least
First and
enough
foremost,
content.
thank you, Hollywood, for always making sure we have things to talk about. You all always keep us on our toes, and we really appreciate that.
Yeah, absolutely, man. When we first started this podcast, we weren't sure if we wanted to do one podcast a week, one podcast a month, a bi-weekly thing. We had no idea. But then we have so much content to talk about, and we want to make it a little bit easier to listen for our fans. So starting next week, you'll be getting podcasts from us every Tuesdays and Thursdays. As we mentioned 100 times before, our favorite segment is Hot or Not. So with Hot or Not, since we find there's not enough time to talk about all the news within the week, we're going to make it its own episode coming out every Tuesdays. And then every Thursdays, we'll be talking about whatever topic is on our mind. So for next week, a little preview. I am going to be talking about some of our favorite directors and including what directors might be unappreciated, overlooked, and I have one director in mind specifically that I feel like we should be showing a lot more respect for. But again, that will be for next week's episode. So I'm excited for this, man. What about you?
For today's episode, I was super excited. I know, Varun, I haven't had a look at any of these questions yet. I know you have a little bit more of an idea of what's going on. And so I'm excited to see what people have said. And I know you said that there's a couple suggestions in there as well. So I'm excited to hear what people have to say.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm excited. Let's get right into it.
Awesome. Yeah. You know what? I actually didn't really look into these questions yet.
Ooh.
I looked at them. I just took screenshots of them to make sure I'm
Okay.
able to grab all of them. So I did look at it a little bit earlier today. But you know what? Hopefully, we'll hit this ground running. The first question is pretty straightforward. Why did we do this? Like, why are we doing a podcast? I know we've touched on this already.
Yeah.
So on episode 1.
Mhm.
So we don't have to go into a deep dive of it, but
Mhm.
this is actually Murad's idea of starting a podcast regarding this topic. So what made you want to do this?
So I love movies. Varun, you love movies, and a lot of my other friends like movies, but they don't love movies. So when I talk to them about it, they're like, okay, cool. But I would be bringing up the same thing, or not the same thing, but I'd be bringing up all this like cool stuff that's happening. And they were appreciative and they were like, oh, thanks for letting us know. But they weren't like ecstatic about it. So I was like, man, this kind of sucks. And then I've always wanted to do a podcast, especially for movies. So I as soon as we were talking, I thought, you know what, this is it. You know, whether we have like 15 listeners or like 15,000 listeners, uh I want to sit down with a really good friend of mine and talk about what we'd love to talk about. You know, even though I think you're a cool dude and you make fun of me, that's a different story.
For me, I've always thought about doing a podcast.
Hmm.
I'd never in a million years would thought I would do a podcast regarding movies or TV shows,
Hmm.
just because sports, for a lot of people who know me outside of the podcast world, is my biggest passion. So that's something that's always sort of been a goal of mine. I
Hmm.
just didn't know where to start.
Hmm.
And having an opportunity to do this, I thought would be a great way to sort of get my feet wet. This isn't hopefully a temporary thing. I want to continue this on a long term basis.
Hmm.
But my goal is to branch out in other areas to talk about other topics. Hopefully, it's here. That's something to talk about more down the road. But podcasts, as I mentioned, I've been listening to it since like 2006, 2007, even before podcast apps were available.
Hmm.
Um, I mentioned this guy before, but Bill Simmons started a podcast on ESPN.com. I remember on my BlackBerry Pearl, I'll go into ESPN.com and just click on the podcast link. It was like no app, just the browser link I had to click on, and I had to stream it.
Hmm.
Just insane to think about, considering how much data we had available back
Yeah,
then.
that's
So
fair.
definitely a lot more accessible now to not to only access podcasts, but to create it. And it's
Hmm.
awesome that how easy it is.
Hmm.
And we want to continue to grow. We are currently on Spotify right now. We are always obviously on YouTube. Don't forget our social media accounts on Twitter and Instagram at the Deep Focus Pod, which you should have seen the handle earlier in the episode. And hopefully, by the time next week comes by, we'll be on Apple Podcasts. I did find a couple cool links. Thanks for
Oh,
just process sports, Justin Pooney. Thanks for helping me out there. I'm collaborating with them, and yeah, that's pretty much it. I hope that answers the questions for the audiences there. Cool. Next question.
hmm,
This should be a pretty easy one.
sure.
It wasn't for me, but I think
Okay.
for you. So, your favorite Leo DiCaprio movie?
Oh, uh, I would say Basketball Diaries.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah, it was fantastic.
It's a
Oh
great
man,
movie.
it's
The movie
that
came out before you're
one.
born, didn't it? So I was a little
No, I know,
surprised.
but I so Basketball Diaries. I thought he was fantastic in it,
Yeah.
and I want to say Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I know those are two very different movies made at two
Mhm.
very different points in his career, but I think that just shows he was able to be this grand person like in Great Gatsby and in all these other movies as well. But he was also able to like really dive deep into those emotions of like in Basketball Diaries where there was a teenager overcoming a lot of adversity, or whether he was in his older man phase of his career where he was dealing with being washed up and things like that. So
Mhm.
his range is absolutely incredible. So those two, although quick shout out to him as Jay Gatsby in The Great Gatsby, because I think I've seen that movie more than any other DiCaprio movie. Of
Wow.
It's so good. It's just so grand and beautiful, and the soundtrack. Oh my, and it looks so sad all the time, and he says old sport a bunch. So I thought that's pretty cool. You
My
know.
most watched DiCaprio movie is easily The Departed.
Oh.
I've seen that countless of times,
Mhm.
but it's not my favorite DiCaprio movie. My favorite DiCaprio movie has to be The Wolf of Wall Street. It's I don't know what to say. Like it's amazing. Like he's
Mhm.
playing this. I don't say a villain, but someone who's not generally liked in Jordan
Mhm.
Belfort. And I thought he really captured the role.
Mhm.
This overall the performance of the movie was fantastic. That's
Yeah.
easily my favorite movie. However, my favorite DiCaprio performance will always be Django. When
That's
he
right.
came in Django,
Yeah.
like he for those basketball fans, like he came off the bench and started hitting threes right away. Like he came off the bench hot. He came in firing and he did not miss.
That's
And
true.
the fact that he started bleeding, I'm not sure if you guys remember the scene. This could be our fun fact of the day. But like the scene where he caught everyone in the lie and he smashed the table and hand starts bleeding. His hand is actually bleeding. Like he actually cut his hand with the broken glass, which is insane. But the adrenaline kicked in. Oops, hitting the mic there. The adrenaline kicked in where he's like, you know what, F it, let's just keep going. And you saw
Hmm.
that, and it's amazing. And things like that is why
Yeah.
he's an all-time great, and he'll will be remembered as that. And I'm so glad that him and Scorsese do partner up in a lot of movies, and I'm glad him and Tarantino have started doing that too.
Hmm.
I feel like they can make amazing projects even down the road together.
Do you remember Kerry Washington's face
Yeah,
when his blood
yeah,
starts? Oh my
abs.
God. I felt uncomfortable. And then afterwards I found out that it was real. I was like, I get why she's uncomfortable.
Yeah, like that
You
wasn't
know?
part of the script, which is
Oh,
amazing.
I know, it was insane. Yeah. So wonderful actor, DiCaprio. If you're listening, I love you. So does Varun.
All right, to the next question. I didn't know how to answer this, so maybe we want to start the topic off here. Is the question is, will we ever review international films, more specifically Bollywood films? So, yeah, why are you laughing?
Because I think I know who asked that.
For privacy reasons, we will not be sharing
Hmm.
people's information out there. For the Bollywood films, for me, it's a hard pass.
Hmm. Okay.
Uh, and because international films and Bollywood films are two separate things. If there's our international films that make it to the mainstream market when it comes to war season and things like that, I feel like that'll be the. I know I said you start off on this, but I
Sure. No,
clearly
go
have an
off.
opinion on it.
Go off, Queen.
International films, I could see no like I could see myself watching it really when it comes to during the war season, like
Hmm.
last year with Parasite. Like I'm assuming we could consider that international,
Yeah.
but with Bollywood films, it's I don't really watch it. Like I haven't seen a Bollywood film since like really. I haven't watched a new Bollywood film since I was a kid, right? So if I watch anything, it'll be something I'm rewatching from back then. And as I'm always saying, this is a podcast for the people by the people.
Hmm.
If it's um I I don't believe Bollywood is for all the people. If that's something that everyone wants us to talk about, great.
Hmm.
This is not something I'm passionate about. What about you, Murad?
I'm a big fan of foreign films, and I got really really into them a few years ago, and so that's the thing. I don't watch a lot of new foreign films or international films, I should say. Like of course Federico Fellini's films, Eight and a Half, recorded things like that. Those are pivotal pieces of cinema for the movement of storytelling and visuals throughout history, so French films, Breathless, Truffaut, and Ingmar Bergman. Like I've seen those films. I don't think that, and like you said, like you were also just kind of shaking your head. I don't think that is what people would really listen to. Like, and a lot of newer foreign films that people would want to talk about, I don't have that much of an interest in, unless, like you said, it's those award films, right?
Yeah,
So I
yeah,
agree with you. If it's in the moment and it's being talked about, absolutely. But I don't think I would go and watch a new foreign film on its own. Even this year, another round or Druck, if you want to say it in the actual language, with Mads Mikkelsen, I would talk about that, but I would not have known about it had it not been talked about in the award sense. And also
yeah.
Bollywood, I watch Bollywood every so often because my brother's like, "Oh, this movie's really cool." And don't get me wrong, there's a lot of them that are really, really good, and I have shed a lot of tears. And I've had my heart broken by them, but I don't think I'm well versed in it, like you said, Varun, to also have that discussion.
Cool.
Yeah,
So whoever sent that out, I'm sorry, is not in a real house. However, if you ever want to jump on our podcast and talk about it, shoot
more
us an
than
email.
welcome. Yeah.
Everyone's welcome on this podcast.
Hmm.
To the next question. Have you seen the Suicide Squad
The
movie?
2016?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, perfect. Because this
Yeah.
question is related to that. So the question is, what's our thoughts on Jared Leto as a Joker in Snyder Cut, Justice League, and
Okay.
Suicide Squad?
Okay.
Why? I
The only, the only reason why I'm laughing is because I think he's fine as a Joker. Like, he took that role and he made it his own by being all spooky backstage and stuff. Cool. But his laugh, where he like covers his hand and he has the tattoo of the smile on his face, and then he has that and I was like,
don't try that
that's
again.
I know, but it's just
Don't do
not
that again.
menacing. Like him as a Joker, but his laugh was I hated every second of it. In the Snyder cut, he was more tolerable because he looked like he was just much more weathered. He looked like he was just annoyed. He didn't look like this wannabe flashy guy in like a cool Lamborghini and with a weird hand tattoo. So,
Yeah, so that's funny because I actually have a very similar take to that.
mm,
When I first saw the Suicide Squad, I hated it. First of
mm,
all, like the movie was not good. Like had a lot of great moments,
mm,
but overall the movie was a hot mess.
mm,
And it's another one of those movies where people are asking for the full cut, the original cut, because the rumors of behind the scenes where Warner Brothers again was sort of putting their fingers in and making David Ayer, the director of the movie, change a lot of it in the movie.
yeah.
However, I do feel like that version of the Joker was a David Ayer thing and not a Warner Brothers thing. So if you're not familiar with David Ayer's work, he a lot of his movies have the similar vibe. He makes some great movies and some a little bit questionable movies, but a lot of it has to do with like drug cartels, gangster type movies, and the Joker and Suicide Squad sort of had that vibe with the flashy suits and the tattoos and all that sort of stuff. And I absolutely hated it. I thought it was
Mhm,
trash. And I know he had a little bit of screen time to do anything with it, but if he's considered as high end actor, which I actually think Jared Leto's not a good actor, I think is very overrated, right? But if we're in Hollywood circles and to a lot of general fans, he's considered as high end actor. He should have pulled it off, and
mhm,
he didn't. But
mhm,
then he brought it back, like you said, with Snyder's Cut Justice League, where I was like, okay, like I actually liked that laugh. I thought it was super creepy, and I enjoyed that part of it. So I know the same similar laugh in the Suicide
mhm,
Squad and Justice League movie, but if we got that second version of that in the first
mhm,
movie, I would have been more open to the idea of him playing the Joker
mhm,
again.
mhm,
I'm still out on Leto being the Joker, mainly because his coworkers freaking hated him. He
mhm.
pissed off. I'm not sure if you heard the stories
Yeah.
of
The
of all
rats.
they're
Yeah.
saying rats to like Will Smith and Margot Robbie. Like I don't know what that was about. Like that's method acting to its fullest
It's,
extent.
it's called being a dick, dude. That's all it is.
Yeah, you're right. So if we got that latter half of the version in the original Suicide Squad movie, I would have been, yeah,
Okay.
sure,
Yeah.
let's give it a shot. But even in trailers when they showed Joker, I wasn't excited for it.
Hmm.
So I'm out on him as Joker,
Hmm.
but who knows what happens with the future. Right now, Snyderverse is not coming back, but
Hmm.
so didn't think we'll get the Snyder version of Justice League movie.
Can I make a quick amendment? Just real quick.
Yeah.
His laugh, like you said, like if I heard that laugh in the middle of the night and it was all dark, I'd be like, "Oh, this is spooky." It's just when he covered his face with his hand, that part pissed me off. So you know what? That's it. That's all I wanted to say. Continue.
That's fair. Um, so the next one, I don't know if a suggestion or a question. All this
Mhm.
says Pixar episode question mark. So I don't know what that means. I'm going to assume that means are we going to talk about Pixar or have an episode dedicated to Pixar? I don't see why we wouldn't have one day.
Mhm.
It just I don't know if we'll ever do a Pixar episode in regards to one movie. I am always open to the idea. I know we sort of workshopped this before, and we haven't really
Mm-hmm.
planned it out yet. But talking about the history of Pixar and the ups and
Mm-hmm.
downs of mostly ups of the movies from Pixar. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, like I don't know, it's pretty
Yeah,
straightforward. Yeah, why not?
sure. Did Pixar send that? It'd be
Definitely
really.
not. Definitely not. But you know what? Why not? I don't
Yeah,
think Pixar needs
absolutely.
free. I don't think Pixar needs free advertisement for us.
That's
They're
fine.
fine. This is an interesting question. Best movie of all time and why? Such a loaded, like I don't know what to
No,
say.
could never answer that question.
It's so such a hard
No,
question to answer.
no. I refuse to answer that. It's like someone asking like, "What's the best song of all time?" I don't know. There's so many. Like, ask me on a different day, I'll have a different answer. If I'm sad,
Okay,
I'll
okay. Right now, this very second,
okay.
on this Wednesday afternoon,
Yeah.
what's your favorite? What's the best movie of all time today? I'll be
Francois Trip.
nice. I'll be nice. I'll give you. I'll give, let's do a top three.
Oh,
I'll
okay.
give you top three. Best movie doesn't be rewatchable. Doesn't have to be like a mainstream movie. Like
Mm.
best overall movie of all time. Three. Go.
The Godfather.
Yeah.
Simple. The Seventh Seal.
Okay.
And mm, I'm a big softie, so I'll always say La La Land because it's a good
Best
mix.
movie of all time.
I don't know, man.
You're
I
calling La
watch
La
it
Land
all the
best. Oh
time.
my
I don't know.
god.
It's not, but like that's the
Jeez.
thing. You can ask me today, but ask me tomorrow, I'll be like, nah, that's not it. But I'm feeling sappy today.
La La Land wasn't the best movie of the year, and you're just
No,
calling it
because
one best movie.
Moonlight was so fucking good, dude.
Yeah, but like you can't. Okay. Okay.
I don't
For
know.
me,
Ask me tomorrow, it'll be different.
for me, it's the same three every single day. It's Godfather 1 and 2 and Shawshank.
And also, which one? Shawshank?
Godfather 1, Godfather 2,
Mhm.
Godfather 2, and Shawshank.
Okay. All right.
Those are
Respect.
the top three every single day, 7 days a week, all year long. Like they're the goats of all movies.
Fair enough. I
Cool.
respect it. No, I wish I wouldn't have said La La Land.
Yeah, I wish you didn't say that either. Remember, I said earlier I want to do this long term. I don't know if you're in that long term picture. So I'll throw that
I
out
can
there.
switch it up Fast and Furious. No, it's okay. It's not though. It's not one of the best. It's not even the best movie of the. Whatever. It's okay. Just keep going.
You know what? Speaking of the Fast and Furious, I was gonna save this question for like towards the end, but I want to bring this up now.
Okay.
So the question was, what is one movie or TV show that one of us loves, but the other one hates? So I was asking one of us to do this. I'm taking this over.
Do
Why
it.
no love for Fast and Furious? Like the franchise in general, any particular movie.
Okay. So here's my problem with it. All right.
Okay.
When the movies came out, they were dope. Like Paul Walker in that Supra, Dom Toretto in that Charger. I thought it was awesome, right? Street
Okay.
racing, I'm all for it. But then when they went and then Tokyo Drift came out, I thought Tokyo Drift was cool because you saw drift cars in action. It was fast, it was furious, hence the name. But then they became like international, like they were working with cops, and then they flew that car from the Burj Khalifa to that other tall building, and then he had the ice charger in the snow, and then you had the rock. It got so convoluted, like if it was if they had just kept it like the way it was, where it was just street racing and it was like people working on cars and family, as Vin Diesel always said in those movies, then I'd be all for it. But then they just got too mixed up. It felt like they forgot why they were making those movies and the jump start to the tuner culture that they started. And then they just became like international cops. I don't know. That's my whole thing with it. That's why I don't like it. You can kick my ass later.
But I don't know what you're expecting. Like, if you could change something? What would you change?
Dude, cut your losses. Like, have it end off at 4. Have it end off when
What
Paul Walker
loss?
died, bro.
They make more. They
Okay,
make
they
more
make more money,
money.
but the
So what
movies
loss
are
are you talking about?
the
Like,
movies are just they're not about racing. They're not about cool cars
it's
doing
called
cool.
growth. You can't be about one thing the entire time.
No, but to go from people who ran away from the cops and they were like
Character
racers,
development. Come on,
okay,
man.
okay, but you're still losing the grittiness of the original movies. It's not
Well,
there.
how are you losing that?
It's
Like, especially when it actually gets better as time passes by. Like Fast Five till today is arguably the best Fast movie, right? Fast Four was not good.
no.
I would consider Fast Four the worst movie of the franchise.
Mhm.
Maybe Too Fast and Furious. So the first one I can see what you're talking about, but you're talking about if we're cutting losses of four, we wouldn't be talking about the Fast and Furious franchise as we are right now. We wouldn't be.
I don't know.
We
It's
wouldn't because Fast Five,
yeah.
that's when it starts kicking off again. That's when it says, you know what, screw it. We made this large universe. All the original gang is all in this movie of Ludacris from Second Fast and Furious.
Mhm,
We have Han from Tokyo Drift. We
mhm,
also some of the original characters from like Vince came back from the first Fast and Furious to come back
mhm,
in Fast Five. You're having all these people come back for this
mhm.
for one last ride, however you want to say it. But like it works. Like when I go into the Fast and Furious movie, I'm looking for
Mhm.
these things. I want a cool barbecue scene,
Has to be a barbecue scene.
unbelievable, unrealistic action scenes, jumping from car to car. Like there has
Mhm.
to be at least one person jumping off a car to another car.
Yeah.
If that doesn't happen at least once in the movie's a fail. Like
Okay, but
I'm
then
expecting.
a a $7 million hypercar jumping from one building to another. Come on, like
That was amazing. Like
that was not amazing,
I
bro.
laughed with joy though. Like I laughed with joy because like you're not going back to my thought though. Like you're not expecting a realistic movie in this. Realism went away when the submarines are attacking everyone,
That's
right?
true.
Right? Realism went away when like not when like I don't know how it was, but Too Fast Too Furious. You're not talking about that. It happened early in the movie
Mhm.
where it was Paul Walker jumped off the little ramp and miraculously that perfect landing on a moving boat. So if that's your argument, it's a poor argument because you're cutting a loss. Like yeah, it's a loss because the two, three, and four in the moment were not good movies. In the moment. Tokyo
Mhm.
Drift, ask anybody. No, not a lot of people like the movie when it first came out. It's a movie that got better over time.
Mhm.
Two and four is the worst one in the series. There's no doubt about it. Fast One, it's a classic, but that
So good.
classicness of the Fast and the Furious was only happened in that one movie. It didn't happen again. They got rid of it right away. The whole like street racing stuff, it was gone. So,
Tokyo Drift had the street racing thing where they had
sorry.
the Tokyo Drift had the whole drift racing thing, and that's
Yeah,
why I
but
loved it.
it's racing for like so the mafia can kill him or something. Like, like it's the
But they
like
did
that's a
it.
small. That's such a small part of the like he's learning how to drift, but like that's a small part of the storyline. Where in the first Fast and Furious, you got Street
Mhm,
Wars, or Race
mhm.
Wars, whatever they call it, Race Wars. Sorry, so that
Was it
was a
Race
big
Wars?
in the first movie. Now when they go in the
Oh, that's
desert,
right. That's right.
oh man,
No, 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 I know. I was thinking of something else, but no, I got you. I got you. You said Race Wars. I was like, what's going on?
I see what I did now.
Yeah.
but uh but yeah, like that's my take on it, right? Like that's
Mhm,
if you want a movie with insane action, you want an adrenaline rush,
mhm,
you want a team
mhm.
working together, he's want a good time. That's all you should expect from these movies, and a pretty dope soundtrack. Like
The
that's
soundtrack's fine, yeah.
yeah, that's the only thing you should be expecting from these movies. If you expect anything more, that's on you.
Okay,
So
so that
sounds like you hate
absolutely.
towards sounds like your hate towards the Fast and Furious franchise. It's a you problem. It's not
I've never once said it's an anyone else problem. It's me, absolutely. I'm just not a fan of movies. And if you want to talk character development in action movies, look no further than the character development and the weeding out of different characters than the Marvel universe. Like you care about those characters. The movie has a bunch of action. They destroy cities and stuff.
But that's material they took from comic books. Yes, they still have to write it out, but
Sure.
that's material they took away from it. Whereas this is Fast and Furious isn't based on anything, right? Like it's not based on a comic book series or a graphic novel series.
So,
It's
but like
its
even when
own
they were making
story.
the comics, the character development was already written, right? There's the same thing as writing a script, writing a comic book. You're still wanting to make characters feel like they belong in that. I don't think anyone can play those roles better than the casting was fine. Like like I don't think you can have anyone else say family and have it mean something other than Vin Diesel playing Dom Toretto. Absolutely, right? But I don't know, man. It became so grand and it became so not what I was expecting so quickly. Don't get Fast Five was sick. I watched that thing.
So quickly though, like Fast and Furious came out when I was in high school, right? So it came out in like 2000, 2001, maybe
Yeah.
2002. So it's been about
You were
19 years of this, man.
were you in high school in 2001?
Yeah.
I was 6. Oh yeah, you were 10 years older, so you would have been 16. No, it makes sense.
Bro,
No, it's okay. I
I hate
got
you
you.
so much. Um, yeah, so I think you need to sit
Yeah.
down and watch all the Fast and Furious movies with an open mind. That's it. Like you're wrong. I feel
Oh.
very confident everyone listening to this knows you're wrong.
Oh.
Just man up and admit it.
No.
Okay. I'm
Next question. Just walks away.
um back to some pretty easy ones. I'm gonna calm myself down a little bit.
Yeah.
Talk about Star Wars and Marvel. That's it. That's the statement.
Is that are we talking more about it? Are we
No,
talking about it
I don't know
today?
if they want us to talk. I'm assuming this person wants us to talk more about it. We did hit a bit of it on the last
Mhm,
episode when it comes to
mhm.
Disney Plus content. If there's anything specific that you want us to talk about, please let us know. We are hoping to plan something for May the 4th, as this is coming by in less than a month. I'm sure there'll be a lot of big news during then. So we'll probably do a big podcast around Star Wars then, and probably something after all the original series have been completed, with Falcon about halfway done right now and Loki coming up in June. We'll
Mhm.
probably do a quick recap of all that stuff. But if there's any specific topic you guys want us to talk about regarding Marvel, MCU, the DC, Star Wars, anything, just let us know. We're very open to anything. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I
Mhm.
don't know what else to say to that one.
Thanks for that one. Yeah.
Yeah. uh what else we have? Oh, I like this one.
Okay.
So someone's asking for us to give them a recommendation.
Ooh.
Yeah. So this fan wants a recommendation for a good thriller slash action movies. The comparison she's looking for
Mhm.
is something similar to the girl with the dragon tattoo. That's a
Interesting.
very vague question.
I know.
Like, I don't know what you've watched,
Me?
but no, like this
Oh, this
fan, like
person. Oh, I see.
this.
I
I'm
see.
not this fan. This person's a fan. This fan. I don't know what this fan watched. I don't know how many movies they've watched or anything at all. So if you could follow up with us with
No, no,
maybe,
no, no, no. Don't cheap out. Say who cares what they watch? Give them a suggestion. Maybe they've seen it, but it would
you know what,
say
Girl with
it.
Dragon Tattoo. If you like thriller, it's not really actiony, but David Fincher did Dragon Tattoo. Watch anything by David Fincher. Like you can't go wrong,
Mhm.
right? Like Fincher did Seven, right? Yes, he did Seven. He did Gone Girl.
Mhm.
He does have a murder series on Netflix.
Watch Zodiac, dude.
Zodiac. Oh my god, Zodiac is amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like honestly, anything but David Fincher.
Yeah.
If you not thriller, but social network, like it's that's amazing.
I have one. I have one. If
Okay, go ahead.
Twin Peaks.
Oh,
Twin
that's
Peaks.
good.
Great
That's good.
series. Yeah. Twin Peaks, Fargo even. There's so
Yeah,
many. Yeah. There's
Fargo's fantastic.
yeah.
There's something that's easily accessible via streaming though.
Mm,
Right? Let's maybe think like Fincher can find stuff fit by. I don't know. I
yeah.
know Fincher. I'm gonna look it up right now. Fincher has a Netflix series. I'm blanking on the name of it.
Does he have a Netflix
While,
series?
while he
Yeah.
has a Netflix series, Murder One.
Interesting. While he looks that up, if you like thriller suspense stuff, I really enjoyed, and this is not like spooky in any way, but I really like Murder on the Orient Express. I genuinely really like whodunit movies. So Murder on the Orient Express, Knives Out, watch anything by Alfred Hitchcock, Psycho, North by Northwest, Vertigo, Rear Window. Like there's a lot of really cool people making a lot of suspenseful films, you know. So that would
Okay.
be mine. Yeah, I would say definitely look into more of Fincher's movies because I think he's a super weird dude. Yeah, that's what I got. Bruno, did you ever figure that out?
Yeah, Mindhunter.
Oh
That's a
yeah.
great series. If you like
Mhm,
murder mystery, if you like thrillers, again, it's not an action thriller, but it's a fantastic show.
mhm.
But this person did ask for movies specifically. So honestly, anything about David Fincher, you can't go wrong. You can mention all those movies.
Mhm.
Yeah, I don't think that helped, but I hope it did. Gives an
David
idea.
Fincher, David
How
Lynch. There you go.
there you go. Let's
Watch their films.
there you go.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right, back to the questions. Where are we now? Who would win in a one-on-one battle? Batman or Iron Man?
Feel like
Oh man.
I feel like this is all the questions I asked myself when I was 10 years old. I was like, who would win? Superman is the strongest. You don't know. I don't know. Who would you say? Because
For me, it's no doubt Batman.
really,
Yeah, like he has clear advantage on the hand-to-hand combat.
sure.
The tech is not. There's no real advantage. Just because Bruce Wayne doesn't come up with the tech doesn't mean he doesn't have the tech. He built a suit to take on Superman. I mean, like, so I'm pretty sure
That's
he
fair.
could figure out a way to take on Iron Man.
Yeah, but then all Iron Man has to say is Martha, and then Batman will be all confused. If you don't get that reference, watch that movie.
I can't have a real conversation with you. And that reference I was making wasn't to the movie. It was a reference to the graphic novel Dark Knight. Right. So yeah.
I don't know. Iron Man can just like he has like things you can just shoot out of his arm and just like I don't know, murk Batman.
Yeah, because Superman doesn't have that.
He has lasers through his eyes.
Eyes. Yeah.
Yeah, but like okay, but if Batman's trying to get him, he can just fly away and then just like go up to the atmosphere because he's Iron Man, and then he can come back down, and Batman will just be like, okay, now what do I
Yeah,
do? He's
cool.
all the way up there.
You drain your battery going all the way up and down. I'm gonna take advantage of this. I don't know. I don't know, man. I
I
think
don't know. All
Batman.
right, you know, we'll agree to disagree.
No. Yeah, we'll agree that you're wrong for sure.
We'll disagree that you're right. That's what I'm trying to say. Yeah, I had to really think about that.
Okay.
Next
I'm gonna,
question.
this is actually my favorite question so
Oh.
far. If I'm gonna cheat a little bit, I'm gonna change the question up a little bit. But here's the original question by this fan:
Mhm,
if you could only pick one movie, just one,
mhm.
what is the worst movie of all time? Right.
Oh.
So obviously we haven't seen every single movie ever made. So what is
Mhm,
the worst movie you've ever seen? Like bar none fire. And the reason I want to cheat because I have a two-part answer for this.
mhm.
Personally, I'm gonna make you answer first. But my thing is I have a worst movie, but also have the worst type of movies.
Oh, interesting.
That's me. And but like it wasn't like and when I say worst type, it is, I don't mean by like, oh, it's annoying. Why are they making this? It's more like, wow, that is a hot trash. What? Who paid money to make this?
That's
But
fair. Okay.
go ahead.
I would say The Room. Have you seen The Room?
Brie Larson?
Tommy Wiseau? No, no, not
No.
Brie Larson.
Oh, that one. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I've seen the remake of it. with
Yeah,
Franco.
not
I've never,
Disaster Artist,
yeah,
but the
disaster
original.
artist. I've never seen that. No,
Okay, no,
I'll not want to watch. Do not want to watch it.
it's so bad that it's good. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if I watch it,
But
I
like,
hate
but no,
myself.
but what's a
No,
like, you
but
can't
it's
say what's like what's bad. Like something like you watched once and you're like, oh my
mhm,
god, like I need to walk out of the
yeah.
movie theater.
Oh, Ender's Game.
Really
I did not, dude. I fell asleep. I tried to watch it twice. I fell asleep both times. Could not get through it.
interesting.
Yeah, Ender's Game.
Is there a certain
So,
type of movies you don't like, or do you think is like trash and why they're making it?
sorry, repeat that one.
Do you have a type of movie
Mhm.
that you feel like, hey, this is trash? Why are they making this?
No, only because there's certain types of movies that I don't watch,
Hmm.
right? But that's not because I don't like them or I don't think they should be made. I think every movie should be made
Hmm.
because that's also what I want to do is make movies. So if I have a reason to tell someone not to make a movie, then I'm being a hypocrite because every story deserves to be told. So it all depends on the movie. So I can't answer that one. But what about you? Your two-part answer.
So the type of movie I freaking hate those parody movies. So we back in the day we got Scary Movie from the Wayne brothers. And I loved them. One and
Yeah.
two. Amazing. They stopped, but the studios didn't. So they kept making these scary movies that were just progressively getting worse and worse.
Mhm.
And then I can't remember when these movies came out, but I wouldn't say somewhere in the mid 2000s.
Mhm.
There was a large number of them when we
Mhm.
got the disaster movie. There was
Epic movie.
epic movie. There you go.
Yeah.
And meet the Spartans, right? Like these
Yeah.
terrible, just straight trash. Like
Yeah.
I'm watching the trailer and I'm like, this made it to the theaters. It wasn't a straight to VOD or wasn't straight to rental. Like it went to theaters,
Mhm.
and I never got that. So there are movies that shouldn't be made, and it's that do not
That's
make
fair.
those
But we
straight
also don't
trash
see that much anymore though. Like that was
because
a
they were trash. They were
no, but that's the
trash.
thing.
That's why.
It was a very, very hot ball of fire for like 4 years. And
Yeah.
then they just stopped. And
Oh, I agree. Yeah,
you
they
know,
haven't made them anymore. But that's the type of movies I just couldn't stand.
that's
But
fair,
for
yeah.
me,
Why
worst
would
movie easily Halle Berry's Catwoman. Like it's
oh okay.
garbage. Yeah,
I don't
just
think I've seen that.
don't please. It's not
Okay,
even
cool.
like I like everything. Like I like everything, but man,
That's
that was awful.
that's saying a
I
lot.
want I wanted to burn my eyes. Like it was so bad.
Was it her that was bad?
Everything about it was terrible. Yeah, she was pretty bad in it too.
Oh
It was
man.
bad. It was like the
Dang.
outfit, the story, the origin story was trash. Like it was everything was so weird and was
Was it
nothing fun about it. There's no good action sequences. There wasn't a decent moment of acting. There wasn't any. I can't give it a positive point. Like there's nothing good about that movie. And I know Halle Berry now knows that movie was a dumpster fire. And in a
yeah.
couple of interviews, she's mocked it. I know she won a Razzie Award for it, but
Uh
it was really bad. It was
if
so bad.
the Razzie Awards are fun.
Yeah,
I think those are
they are,
fun,
they are pretty fun.
you know?
For
Damn.
those who don't know what the Razzie Awards are, please check it out online.
Yeah.
Essentially, it's an award show that's completely opposite of the Oscars, where they award like the worst actor of the year, the worst movie of the year. It's a fun watch,
It's
and
so good.
my favorite thing about it is how fun the actors have in it.
Mhm.
Like they're just totally in on this joke, and it becomes one big party. And I do respect that about that, which is pretty awesome. But if you haven't checked it out, if you haven't checked it out, please check it out. It's amazing.
Mhm.
Uh, I don't know if you can answer this question. It's a
Lay it on me.
segment where we talk about funny, possible, intoxicated memories together.
Together? Oh,
Yeah,
hell no.
we haven't had
We,
that,
we can't.
so
We can't talk about that.
no. Uh no, I'm not going to share that. That's that's something for maybe if I remember drunk on the pod, maybe I might pull something. But until then, I'm out. What about you,
Yeah.
man? You want something to share?
No, not at all. I don't drink.
Your mom's in the other room, isn't she?
Listen, all right. She listens to
Uh,
this. Just meet us in the Cactus Club later, and we'll talk. Actually, don't.
patio,
It's COVID.
patio,
It's COVID. It's
patio,
COVID.
patio. You can do the
Yeah.
patio.
Is
All right,
patio
man.
is still open?
Patio should be open. It's indoors. Indoors are not open.
That's weird. All right. Hey, whatever.
It is what it is.
It
All
is
right,
what it
man.
is.
That's all the questions from the fans. That was really awesome.
Mhm. Before I let
But
you go, though, I have a
oh,
question for you.
oh, this is so cheesy.
Is
I'm
it?
so bad. Like, what's the
I have a
lay it on me?
question for you.
What's the
All right.
question?
I know you and I both really like mobster movies, mafia movies, right?
Sure.
And there's been a lot of them that's come out, old, new, whichever.
Yeah.
Who would you say is your favorite mafia, like mafioso actor or like a mafia figure?
Rob De Niro. Not even
Oh,
close. He's
interesting.
to go. Like it's Casino, Goodfellas, Godfather 2. Like
Okay.
I can't think of another person to play any sort of role in a mafia movie than him. Like when I
Mhm.
think mobster movies, I think him before anything else.
Really?
I think of De Niro. He's the tough guy. He's the wise guy. When it comes to mobster movies, mafia movies,
Yeah.
Bob, Rob, Mr. De Niro,
Bob
the
Rob.
goat, the goat. I know
Yeah.
only his friends call him Bob. I'm hoping to be his friend one day. But Robert De Niro, when I think mobster movies or mafia movies, or just mafia in general,
Yeah.
I think De Niro,
Interesting.
100%.
Interesting.
Um,
Okay.
yeah, I can't think of anyone else. What about you?
I the I think Robert De Niro is one of the best ones, but every time I think of Robert De Niro, I also think of like the weird movies that he's made now. You know, when he's just like chilling, where he's not intimidating, like Joe Pesci. Like Joe Pesci
He
in
wants to get paid. Like let
I
the men get
know,
paid.
I know, but it's just it's so
Joe Pesci's a good
weird.
one
It's
though.
so yeah, but like Joe Pesci was tough, and then he made Home Alone. I'm like I can't. Like he looks
But
like a
did
pistachio, you know. Like
didn't
I can't be scared of him.
but did he really his range though? Like he was fantastic. Well, it's one thing to like for De Niro make all these movies now because they're some of them are not good. But
Mhm.
Meet the Parents was amazing,
Oh yeah,
right?
Dirty
So
Grandpa was fine.
yeah, like he's been in these other movies that have been really good. Joe Pesci
Mhm.
did Home Alone,
Mhm.
and I'm blanking on the second movie. Was it Goodfellas or Casino? I have to look this up. But he did a movie that came out within months of each other, right? So it wasn't like he did these
Mhm.
movies during a downfall of his career.
That's fair. That's
But
fair.
who's on the top of the list for you?
I know it would still be De Niro, but
Yeah,
it's tainted because of all the other stuff that he's done. Him, Al Pacino, and then Ray Liotta because I really like Ray Liotta in
yeah.
Goodfellas.
Well, Leota also was in The Drop. Was
Oh, the Ben Affleck flick, right?
no,
No, that's the town. That's the town.
That's the
My bad.
town.
My bad.
The drop with rest in peace, James Gandolfini and Tom Hardy. If you guys, it's
Right.
only a mobster movie. Actually, it's not a mobster movie, but he plays a sort of mobster type role in that
Mhm.
movie, and he's absolutely amazing in that. It's a
Mhm.
fantastic movie. If you guys haven't seen The Drop, I really recommend it to anyone, everyone.
Mhm.
But going back, De Niro's his work has not tainted at all. I think he's so good
Mhm.
in the first 80% of his career that it will
Mhm.
always overshadow whatever. I don't think of De Niro when I see these other movies. I don't watch him in these movies. Like I don't care for it.
That's fair.
Right?
That's fair. Yeah.
He
Yeah.
like he done some roles like he was within the intern with Anne Hathaway. He's in all the other movies, which I think he's fine.
Mhm.
But De Niro always to me is a mobster. He's a tough guy. He'll never
Mhm.
go away as that. And no matter how many movies he continues to bring out, dude's getting older. He wants to get a check. Let him get
That's
paid.
fair. That's fair.
Let him have his kids and grandkids, collect the checks
Mhm.
too. Like he's making bank now. He did his work. He did his time. And De Niro's legacy will never get taunted when it from his on-screen performance.
That's fair.
Will not get taunted in that
Yeah,
way.
his
Um,
yeah, Godfather 2 when he's walking up and he's just I think the most phenomenal performance.
yeah.
My favorite performance of him would be in Godfather 2, so I agree.
See, for me, it's Casino.
Oh, interesting.
My favorite. I'm not saying his best performance, but that's my
Yeah,
favorite
no, but your
performance.
favorite, yeah, yeah,
My
yeah.
favorite performance, definitely. All
That's
right, man.
fair.
If you got a question for me, I got to throw questions towards you.
Sure.
I thought about this earlier. Had this discussion with another friend of mine. So this is very cheesy, but if you're stuck on a desert island,
Hmm.
you have
Oh
to take five.
no.
You got to take 5 movies. You have to
Yeah.
watch for the rest of your life.
Hmm.
Name those 5 movies.
I
You name 5. You can't cop out. People are all our
I know
fans
they're
called you out last week. Like you choked,
okay.
but we the
Okay,
Patrick
okay.
Ewing of podcasting, right? Don't choke in the big moment when the lights on
Was
you.
that the reference?
Don't. You have to step
Okay,
up.
fine. Okay, okay.
5.
Okay, like I said, I'm a big softie, so I know a lot of them are gonna be like comfort movies for me. Uh it would always Godfather 1 will always be there with me.
Yeah.
What if it's a trilogy? So if it's like Godfather 1 and 2, is
The
that
5 movies. So
okay?
if you
So
can
it's
see
just
Godfather, that's 3 of your movies.
okay, no. I would never be Godfather 3. Are you kidding me? Uh terrible. Godfather 1, Back to the Future.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah. Um Oh, I'm gonna say this and you're gonna make so much fun of me.
I'll make fun of you regardless.
That's fair.
So
That's fair. Two rom-coms because I love them. It will be Woody Allen's Rainy Day in New York. I know. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Damien Chazelle's La La Land because it's just so
I know you're
sweet.
upset.
It's
You're
just
obsessed with that
so
movie.
I know. And oh man, Captain America: Civil War.
Wow.
I know. That was
Is
really
that your favorite? Is that your favorite Marvel movie?
I think so. It's just there's because it's so good and it's almost as if it's like a detective movie rather than a Marvel movie. And I love that level of like secrecy and espionage in it.
So my only downside for the last movie,
Mhm.
well, I have downside for a lot of these movies, but my downside for that movie is some closure on that. So from rewatching
Mm.
the same movie for 5 years, no, if I say rewatching the same 5 movies for the rest of my life, sorry, that wouldn't be one of the movies.
Well, see,
But
that's the thing. 3 of my 5 were series,
yeah,
right? So it's I have 5. I can't choose.
you don't walking. You don't walk out on Godfather 1 thinking I can't wait for Godfather 2 because
No,
we don't
and
know
that's
that.
yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
Yeah,
Same
yeah,
with Back to
okay.
the Future, actually.
Yeah. Well, Back
Yeah.
to the Future, they at the end
Yeah, but
they're
you
like,
can
hey,
live without it.
your kids are evil, right?
But it's like, okay, cool,
Okay,
whatever.
good
Yeah.
movies. My movies are definitely on a different end of the
Okay,
spectrum.
now you got to say it.
All right. So 5 movies to watch for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
40 Year Old Virgin.
Okay.
I need to have I need my boys for Smart Tech. I need them. Like I can't
That's fair.
I can't I watch that movie at least once a month. Like that movie's amazing. It's
Yeah.
a movie will not get made to. It's a 40-year-old
It's
virgin.
it's messed up.
um, Die Hard.
Okay. Yeah.
Lethal Weapon.
Okay. So far, this is a very Varun list, and this makes total sense.
um, Fast Five.
Continuing with the theme of Varun movies, sure.
Heat.
Melissa, no, Al Pacino.
Not Melissa McCarthy, bro.
Yeah, I know.
That can't be the first movie you think of when I say Heat. No, Pacino, De Niro.
Pacino, De Niro. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. So 40-year-old virgin,
Yeah.
Heat with Al Pacino and Robert De Niro, Val
Yeah.
Kilmer, not Melissa McCarthy.
Sorry about that.
Fast Five,
Yeah.
Lethal Weapon, which is the first great buddy cop movie
Mhm.
ever made, and of course the greatest Christmas movie of all time,
Die Hard. But those are all very serious movies, though. Like, you
They're
need a little
fun.
bit.
No, they have everything. 40-year version is not a
But like,
serious
yeah,
movie.
okay, so that's the comedy movie, but everything else is like,
If I had to pick 5 movies, I promise you. I'm not sure if you remember this back in the day, but when you had music on iTunes, like when
Mhm.
iTunes used to exist, you could see like how many songs, so like, how many times you listen to a song. Remember that
Mm-hmm.
that feature?
Mm-hmm.
I guarantee you, those all 5 movies I own.
Mm-hmm.
I guarantee you, if there was the same thing for movies,
Mm-hmm.
they would be in like the triple digits
That's
minimum.
fair.
All of
That's
them.
fair.
I'm not like Lethal Weapons. Something I watched more than any movie ever made.
Mm-hmm.
It's not even close.
Okay.
Yeah,
Lethal
it's,
Weapon's pretty.
it's
It's pretty
amazing.
amazing.
It's
It's so good.
amazing. You
Yeah.
know, like Mel Gibson did not age well with some of the things he's done with some of his work, but that movie is amazing,
Mm-hmm.
perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Like 40 version, like it's. I'm thinking about the
So
scene right
good.
now. A
Yeah.
smart tech with Kevin Hart trying to buy
So good, dude. So good.
to warranty. Trying to get a
It
deal
was,
on it. He was like, "I'm gonna cop you. I'm gonna get you too. Is it your boy?" I'm like, "Yes, I'm all in."
yeah. That or Superbad, man. Like those movies came out. Oh, they were so good.
Yeah,
Just
well,
that time period.
it's that I mentioned this before, but that not that time period, that coaching tree. It's the
It
Apatow
is.
coaching tree, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's what it is. So
Mm-hmm.
you got 40 version, you have Knocked Up, you got Super Bad. So that sort of coaching tree, like they
Yeah.
branched out and made some amazing stuff. But
Mm-hmm.
those will be my 5 movies, and I don't ever see myself changing. Like that will never change
That's
because these movies
fair.
are very recent.
Yours are not recent. No, it
Like the
just shows
most
your
recent,
age. Yeah.
man, if it wasn't there, I'd slap the shit out of you right now. But like the newest movie on that is Fast Five, right?
Yeah,
Or is it? Yeah, Fast Five. Fast Five
that's
came
five.
out in 2011,
I
right?
was in high school when
Or
that came
2010,
out.
or 2010. When did this is a stupid question, but when did the U.S. find Osama?
What?
The reason I know this because we like, do you remember where you were when they announced the Osama bin Laden stuff?
I was at home.
Yeah,
Like
I was watching Fast Five. I came out of the theater and found I got
I was watching Obama say, "Yo, we got him," and I was
I'm
like,
coming
"Yo,
out.
gang,
I'm coming out of theater, looking at BlackBerry curve, like, oh shit, we got Obama.
Blackberry,
Obama got
Blackberry
Osama.
curve." Damn, you're dating yourself, bro.
um, that's it, guys. This went a little longer than I wanted to. The last couple of questions were a little bit longer than we expected, but it was still lots of fun. We
Hmm.
want to do this every month, once a month. So to go along with our Tuesday schedule of hot or not, we want to make the first Tuesday of every month dedicated to these questions. So please keep bringing them back in. I'll again post them the spot for you online to submit your questions. You can also email us at the Deep Focus Podcast at gmail.com. You can find us at the Deep Focus Pod on Instagram, also on Twitter at the Deep Focus Pod.
Hmm.
With that, guys, we're gonna enjoy our little mini break. We'll see you guys next week. Peace.
Be kind to each other. Peace.